Hey, what's up guys? Today I have my updated cube collection video. I'm not really sure when the last one was made, but it was requested that I make another one, so I thought that I would just do that. So without further ado, let's just get right into 2x2s. Okay, first we have the WIT 2, which a lot of people used to use as their main, including myself, but then when Diane and Moyu came out with 2x2s, that kind of got pushed to the side. Then there's the Moyu Ling Po, which a lot of people like, and I really do not like. But I guess it's not a bad cube. And then we have the tiled 50mm, I believe, Fang Shi Shi Shuang, which I use as my main because I do not have a Diane. Then for 3x3s, I have this Rubik's brand, which actually isn't that bad for a Rubik's brand 3x3. But it was signed by Cornelius, Felix, and Mats at World Championships 2013. Then the first speed cube I ever got was a Guhong version 1. This was not lubed by Lubix, but I did buy Lubix and I wanted to put the logo on there. But it's extremely over lubed and way too loose and it pops a lot. But I keep it simply for the fact that it was my very first speed cube. Then after the Guhong, I got these two Zanchis. This is the first one I got, but then I gave it to my great-grandmother, so then I got this one, and this one was my main for a long time. I even have videos on my channel of me at competitions using this cube, but the Zanchis are pretty good cubes, but they've kind of been overlooked now because of Moyu cubes. Then we have the Fang Shi Shuang Ren version 2. I bought the version 1 as well, hated it, sold it, and for whatever reason I thought I would like this one. I hate this one too, and I've been trying to just get rid of it. I could have sworn that I just handed it to some kid at a cube competition for free, but somehow it ended up back in my collection even though I really don't want it. So if you ever see me at a cubing competition, come up to me and ask me for this, and I will just hand it to you for free. Then we have the Gans 3 57mm. This is a really nice cube. It's just very unstable and locks a little bit, but it's really not that bad of a cube. And then we have the Weilong version 1. And the Oolong, which are probably two of the best cubes out on the market. I use this one as my main, and this is my backup main, but these cubes are just amazing, and I highly recommend these if you want a good speed cube. Then for mini 3x3s, we have this 50mm Diane Zanchi and this 55mm Diane Zanchi. Originally, I was going to use this as my one-handed main. That just didn't work out, so I just kind of have it in my collection now. And then this one I use as my two-handed main for the longest time. I got it from a J at a competition, and it's just amazing. I modded it to be like a Zanchi Silk, and it worked out pretty well, but then I just overused it, and it kind of died on me. So I don't really use either of these cubes anymore, but I like having them in my collection. And then for mini Moyu cubes, we have the Li Ying, which is actually a very good cube. And I get pretty good times with it. I just don't like it as much as my Oolong. And then the mini Moyu Weilong, which I use as my one-handed main, and it's a really good cube for that. So moving on to 4x4s, these are the only two I have. This is a Shangxiao version 3, Florian modded, and it was my baby for a while. I absolutely love this cube. It was my first mod, and it was pretty successful, and I just love this cube. But then Moyu came out with the Weisu and the Osu, and I kind of stopped using that one. But this is the Osu. I did sell my Weisu at a competition, but this cube is very good, and I like it a lot. Definitely the best 4x4 on the market, no doubt. But that is pretty much all I have for 4x4s. Then for 5x5s, I have this V-Cube 5. It has an adjustable core, and I traded it at a competition a very long time ago for just a different V-Cube 5x5. But it's a pretty good cube. I just over-lubed it, and honestly, V-Cubes aren't as good as Shangshaos, so I don't use this. But I like to keep it in my collection. Maybe one day it'll come in handy. And then we have this Shangshao 5x5 that has been Florian modded. I bought this off of Nick Rec at a competition, and it's a pretty good cube. It just pops sometimes, but that's really no big deal. For 6x6, I have two Shangshaos. One's Florian modded and one is not. Both suck, and that's pretty much all I have to say about them. For 7x7s, I have a V-Cube 7, which isn't bad for a V-Cube. It actually turns really well. But of course there's the Shangshaos out there, so I don't really use this cube very much, but I like to keep it in my collection. Then I have two Shangshao regular sized. I have one that's white, but it has a pink core in it. And I have one that's pink, but has a white core in it. But these cubes are super duper smooth. Some people still use this cube, not the mini, but they're pretty good. And if you have bigger hands, or if you just don't want a mini one, then these are definitely what you want in a 7x7. However, I do have two minis, and those are what I prefer. So here they are. We have one black and one white. I had this cube for the longest time, and then it just kind of died on me because I changed the springs, and then it ended up screwing up everything in this puzzle. But it popped a lot, and so I decided I would get a new one in black. And I did not change the springs in this one. I just lubed it, and I'm in the process of breaking it in really, really well. Pyraminx, the only Pyraminx I have is the Shangshao Pyraminx, slightly modded. I do have a QJ, but I gave it to my sister, so I don't really consider it mine anymore. But it's not, I mean, it's really good, and there's nothing really else to say. Then for Megaminx, I have a Diane Megaminx with my custom color scheme, and a modded Shangshao with my color scheme. The Diane is also modded, but not in the same way as the Shangshao. Then for additional WCA event puzzles I have this Land Cube and this Calvin Square one. I do not really solve either of these, so I don't really like to mention them, but they are part of my collection, so there you have that. My two non-WCA puzzles, I have this variation of a Megaminx. I honestly don't remember the name of it, but this is a very easy but fun puzzle to solve, and I won it from the Cube Dudes contest a while back. And then the last puzzle I have is the Shangshao 9x9. I have solved this probably like 25 times. It's a very, very nice puzzle. It's only half restickered because I got extremely lazy. So that is all I have in my cube collection. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, make sure to leave them in the comment section. And if you have any recommendations for puzzles to purchase, leave them down there as well, because I may end up buying some because I kind of want to make a cube order. But that is all for this video. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at JustKeepCubing. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!